There's nobody in this room, so I'm going to go in here. Step into my office. As you can see, I've got my display of all my guitars that fans have sent me over the years. This one says, to Mancuda. This one says to Paul. But as you can see, I've kept them in my display case.
Nice. Looks good.
Thank you, man. Is this Metal Wednesday?
It is Metal Wednesday.
Oh, well, here we go. Hey now. Hey, man.
What's going on?
Great, man. Johnny Beane here. Filling in for Jay Hannon for a few. I'm coming at you. Again, as I was saying in the cold open, this is my office.
I like it.
This is the wall you never see. And like I said, guitars that people have sent me over the years. This one said to Paul, this Les Paul. It actually said to Paul Marshall, but I kept it because, that's... If you have stuff mailed to me, it's like, why not?
And you go out. You can put it in display case for everyone to see. It looks good.
Thank you, man. Yeah,
you got to mask up when you come in their room. You don't want people breathing on it, getting periodontal disease all over the place. No.
Right. Yeah, I don't want stink on these wonderful instruments.
Looks good. Who are you there with?
I'm here with Music Therapy Laz.
I gotta put my Be Cool sunglasses on.
What's up,
people?
Music Therapy Laz, welcome to Metal Wednesday. How does it feel to be on Metal Wednesday?
I am so excited. I'm very excited. I'm so excited to have the camera on. I'm like hammering on really fast out of excitement.
Yeah. Wait, I can go like this, huh? Is that's better? That's better. That's better, right?
There you go.
You're playing it, right? I can see
I am playing it. It's gonna flip any second.
Okay.
Oh, there you went.
Wow. Let's do that again. I mean, check out these amazing instruments I've collected over the years. I've got a nice guitar right there. That's a nice one.
It's cool how you keep the tags on it too.
I've got this one here, which is really nice. Oh wait, that's a Kiesel. Oh crap! Oh. Hope Jay's not watching.
That thing has like 9 strings on it. It's an 8-string guitar. Blasphemy.
8-string guitar. That's for Neanderthal, right?
That's
it looks cool, except it's a Kiesel.
What's the price of that for free?
$15.49.99.
Nice.
Little too much for that one, I would say.
Is that an 8-string?
It's been so long since I've actually played this guitar. I can't. Yeah, it's called a Vader. It's a used Vader 8 yellow and pink solid body.
And to make it worse, it has no head.
Oh, yeah. Man, I hate me a headstockless guitar. I can't do it.
That part's missing.
It's like a toy. It's like one of those like Casio, like those keyboards, those
keyboard.
Yeah, the guitar, like the whatever it's called.
The
terrible.
Guitars?
Yeah.
The guitar.
I hate those. I hate headstockless guitars.
One of those. I was a keyboard player.
I actually, I don't think it's a bad looking guitar. I mean, it's 8 strings. I think it's pretty cool, but the way Kiesel treated our friend Johannan is not cool. So that's the reason why we don't like Kiesel around here.
No.
That's really it. Other than that, I think it looks pretty cool. I think Jay would actually like this guitar if it wasn't for the fact that, they're just customer service isn't the greatest.
Well, it's an 8-string though, isn't he? 7 over 8.
He
prefers the 7.
He prefers 7 strings
Not
over
the
8 strings. That's right.
Yeah, Jay's not a fan of 8 strings. No.
Man. Well, hey,
neither.
really quickly, let's say hello to our executive producers. See, I can do all this stuff from my phone here in my office.
Do it.
We have channel membership here on John Beane TV on YouTube. The top tier of those, if I can find the card, are Charles Green, Stephen Franklin, Joe Christian, Michael B., Thomas Santiago, Music Therapy Laz, who is right here. Yo. Bent Tom, The Chad, James Gum, Jarhead Rock, Wayno, Michael Smith, Andy Carson, John Moronic, Jimmy Ray Hawkins, Majestic PB and J Cat. I got to fix that. Mike Neese, R Habs, Lenny Lou, and Mary, False Flag, and Steve Carmichael. That is the top tier. I can't even breathe. Of channel membership here on Johnny Beane TV. Like to become an executive producer, become a channel member. Click the join button right below the. How many thumbs ups do we have? Can you see?
Well, let's check out the thumbs up tally. I show 19 only.
19 thumbs ups.
30 people watching.
30 people currently watching.
Bring up those.
Leave a thumbs up. Leave a thumbs up. We ended the show last night with like 119 thumbs ups or something. Let's see if we can beat that record tonight.
Let's do it.
Let's do that. Let's do that. And here on YouTube, any super chats will change the color of my lights, even though I am not currently in that part of the house. Those lights will still change, believe it or not. So I'll walk in there later this evening, and if there's any lights being changed, they'll have been changed, and I will see those. We're currently live, Johnny Beane TV Facebook page, where we have Facebook stars. Digital gift to help support the channel. And I think we're live in the Van Halen group as well. Biggest Van Halen group there is. And this is also a podcast. So you can say, hey, you know who? Play the Johnny Beane podcast on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts. SoundCloud is the home of the Johnny Beane podcast. And this episode will be a podcast tomorrow. So make sure to follow those. I'm out of breath.
You all right?
Well, because I'm wearing this. I was down here like this, showing you my guitar collection. And then I stood up like this.
And we're in the Johnny Beane vault, so there's limited oxygen.
There's no air in here either. You know, I mean, because we got my beautiful Les Paul collection right here.
Damn.
You know, I've got so many of these. And actually, this is only part of my house. There's actually way more out there, as you can see. I actually have people working for me out there, and they might come in here and ask what we're doing. If they do that, I'll just say, hey, get back to work.
I'll just buy this guitar and they'll shut up.
It's a guitar humidor over there. What are you playing?
Oh, it's a really cool Schecter. Check out this like black rosewoody kind of. I don't know if it's an ebony neck or what that is, but it's pretty.
Looks ebony. Oh, actually, it'll say on the tag.
It says something on there, but I didn't bring my glasses. So it says blah 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 blah. But yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool.
That's awesome. That looks great.
Yeah, and it sounds and feels great. I mean, it's got like more like a gunstock oiled kind of a neck, so you could feel the grain of this wood, whatever it is. Looks like a kind of ebony or something, maybe. But it doesn't have that tight of a grain. But the fretboard is definitely ebony. You can see that. It looks cool and it feels great. Sounds good acoustically.
Nice.
Very
nice. I was at Guitar Center. That looks sort of like your house. I played a Schecter Omen, an 8-string guitar. No, thank you.
Nah.
I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what I was doing. It was just like so.
Oh my god.
Have you ever played an 8-string?
Of course. I mean, I own one right here. I have played that, but currently it's in my vault.
And you left the key in the other room, so we can't take it out.
I don't have the keys.
That's all right. That's right. Keep that thing locked up.
Yeah, and let me actually see, just in case. Okay, Jay is not here yet, so gotta make sure to look out for that.
That's all right. We'll get to him.
But yeah, it's your show. If you want to say hello to people in the chat, I think I'm gonna walk around. I think I'm gonna go outside for a minute because it's getting kind of hot in here.
Okay.
Are you gonna rock out?
Yeah, I'll head out with you.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go outside my house.
Okay, you can go. I'm gonna say hi to everyone in the chat. What's going on, chat? Welcome to Metal Wednesday.
Thank you.
Last Wednesday of the month. We had a special guest coming in tonight, but he will be with us the end of September. Oh! Yo, what's up, handsome?
I made it. Can you hear me? Okay.
Man,
Well, the lighting looks pretty good tonight, doesn't it?
Your V-neck looks good.
Yeah, man. I got a bunch of new plain V-neck shirts. Makes my nose look, I don't know, whatever.
Well, you can get it over your head.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to get it on. I don't have to turn my head sideways to get shirts on or down. So let me get everything right here. I apologize for my tardiness. I've been late all my life, so this really isn't a big deal to me. But I just, this is the thing, so I have to try to be on time. So,
Johnny, you have a Guitar Center sign on your house. It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of act like it's a Guitar Center, so people will come in and buy the guitars that people have sent to Neanderthal and to John Mancuda. People send me the guitars. I sell them to people as a Guitar Center.
Well, you know how Johnny got that sign, right? They were redoing the front of that Guitar Center, and they threw that whole sign in the dumpster. And Johnny just happened to be eating lunch next to that dumpster, so he put it in the back of his car and brought it home and put it on the outside of the house. Looks pretty good, man.
That's exactly what happened.
I know. I was there. Johnny, look over in that dumpster.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing? Hey now.
This guy, Jay.
I can't tell who it is with that mask on and those glasses and that hat. There you go. Oh, that's a fine. You're going to jail.
We're outside,
Police!
Jay. Okay,
Police!
This is kind of a rough part of town, so
Yeah, it looks awful.
it is kind of.
Is it really?
Well,
I didn't know that.
at night it's kind of sketchy around here.
I've been to Santana Road, right down there, and there's a big mall over there. And
Yeah,
We can't hear him.
actually,
What is he saying?
I don't know.
He
I'll
says
take
you
you
look
guys
handsome
up.
tonight.
Actually, let's walk. We'll walk down the street here for a little bit. We'll show you guys what it's like here in San Jose. You want to go to Taco Bell?
Oh yeah.
It's right there. See, Jay, I told you, man. When I get the unlimited internet, I can do all kinds of cool stuff. This is great, man. I love this.
There we go.
This has been the dream to be able to do shows from freaking anywhere, Yeah, there's Taco Bell.
Soon we're gonna have a Johnny show at like the Food Line. Grocery shopping.
Ah, man, I should have got my selfie.
You need to get a wind deflector on your camera, on your phone.
Can you hear it?
Well, you guys are really either moving really fast or it's a bit breezy out there. Yeah.
Johnny's been doing cardio, guys.
Yep. He's already winded. Look at him.
Anyway, there's the Taco Bell. Right back there.
If you go to Taco Bell, ask them if you can order something that was on an older menu. It used to be the number 12, but it's the smothered shredded chicken burrito.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you at all.
Oh, never mind. All right, Brian. So let's get the show rolling.
No, order
A
something
bus.
that's not there.
A bus drove by. We can't hear anything.
Order a Big Mac.
Yeah, or just like what Dane Cook says, like order the Captain Fun Pack and just see what their response is.
The Captain Fun Pack.
Here's some of the local part of the local scene here. I actually
Graffiti?
can't even see this stuff.
You should put more. Yeah, we'll get your sticker on there.
What is
Some girl.
Oh.
What's up?
What was that?
Roman SE129.
I can't even see.
One says sweets something. That's
Sweet,
his
this is amazing television right here, folks.
You got
Johnny
part of
San
the
Jose.
local, you got part of the local,
Some
the
graffiti,
local
some
tags from the local gang here.
gang.
Christopher Live Sewa says Taco Bell will kill you. No, Taco Bell will kill your porcelain on your toilet. And yeah,
Just make sure you're equipped with a bidet. Jay will hook you up.
dude. Well, I'm telling you, I've told everybody, life changing.
That's actually what happens tonight. So normally when there's a super chat, Johnny's lights will change. Tonight, Jay will just send out bidets to everybody.
You get a bidet. You get a bidet. We had company here last week, and my buddy Mike, who stayed here, he got a bidet for Christmas from, I don't know, one of his family members or something bought him a bidet for Christmas. I think it was this past Christmas, and he never installed it. He never installed it, right? Thinking like, yeah, whatever. He came down here, tried mine, came out of the bathroom. Yo, I'm installing that as soon as I get home. That was great.
Yeah, where should we go?
He just randomly went into the bathroom and just kept using the bidet for no reason.
Yeah, but I was like, Mike, no, it's not a water fountain.
I don't know about Taco Bell.
All right, you guys go get Taco Bell.
Why don't you see if you can order a beef quesarito? Apparently, you can only purchase those on the app. You can't order it in person. I don't know why.
You want me to get a diarito?
That too.
And then go to Starbucks and order a Laxachino to wash it down.
Hey,
We
lads,
can't hear him.
enjoy
It
your
sounds
show
like
tonight, man.
I can barely hear you, but should I take a chance and have a chalupa?
Chapupa.
There's got to be a nicer.
There's got to be something better.
All right, you guys figure it out.
We're gonna go find something to eat. I'm gonna let you guys go. Maybe we'll pop in a little later.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, rock on, everybody. Leave a thumbs up. This is quality. Well, this is quantity entertainment for you guys.
Yeah, on the streets of San Jose, California.
If this ends up being a podcast, we're gonna have to cut this whole part out because we can't hear you guys.
All right. Yeah, we can hear it. All right. Goodbye.
All right. See you later.
How do I get out of here?
All right, bye. Bye.
All right, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I sincerely apologize about the gang, the stickers, the graffiti. I wasn't expecting that tonight.
So offensive. So again, I apologize for my tardiness, everybody. Reason being is my daughter Ellie started school a couple weeks ago, and like literally, 7:30 is bedtime now for her. So, the whole bedroom routine, read a book, sometimes, Brian, and anybody in the chat who has kids, I mean, when they're that age, Ellie's 4, you just don't want to put them into bed and split, it's a very important thing, getting a kid into bed and reading and all that stuff. So, we'll see, we'll talk about maybe shifting a few minutes one way after the show is over, but, excuses, Hal faced. Hey, if it's my kid, I'll use the excuse all day.
Do you sing Ellie songs as well or no?
If I do, she gets kind of like bashful and, daddy, that type of thing.
What song? What's your go-to song?
Dream Warriors from Dokken, X Triple I from Crazy Licks, Skidamarinka Dink. She loves that one. It's mine, her, her and I's, it's our song, so, that type of stuff. So
I got you.
Hey, welcome to Kid Chat.
All right.
We're going to rock some metal tonight. We got big announcement. I know it came out a couple weeks ago the details of the September 10th 30th anniversary release of the Black Album, which came out August 12th, 1991. So, maybe it wasn't ready in time or something, but usually you try to release at least the digital copy or the digital version, around that same day, same week, I guess. But
they had to wait for Miley Cyrus to finish her remix of Nothing Else Matters to get in.
Yeah, we'll discuss all that stuff and the details and what's in the set or whatever the box set.
Yep. So I guess first we'll start with, initially we were supposed to have a guest tonight, but that guest will be here at the end of September, so in a month from now, T-minus 4 weeks and counting.
Yeah, I believe it's September 29th, right?
Yes.
I think that's the last Wednesday.
Yep.
Yeah.
September 29th. I'll have some Halloween decorations in here as well, so we'll be cooking.
Yeah, we'll cooking with
Josh Wilbur.
What?
Have your boy Josh Wilbur on.
Yes, Josh Wilbur, who has worked with such artists as Lamb of God, Trivium, Korn, Megadeth,
Gojira,
Gizmachi. That's at the very top of that list.
Soulfly, Avenged Sevenfold, like a lot of really big bands that are big today. So that's gonna be an awesome show. Jay knows I'm pretty pumped. I already wrote out the show, and it might take 5 or 6 hours to get through.
Yeah. It's funny because Brian and I share a with the Apple Notes app or whatever. So he has to always tell me, hey, I added some stuff for the show, because he does tons of homework for this stuff, and I do the bare minimum. Thanks, Brian. So when I saw the notes for Josh's show, like I said, up until yesterday afternoon, it was going to happen today, but something came up, and it's understandable. I mean, Josh is a busy guy, so we get it, and he'll be on next month, like he said. Like, he felt terrible about canceling, but anyway, so I read Brian's notes for the Josh Wilbur show, and I was like, dude, we're going to need like 5 hours for that one, man. But, we'll just go, him and I will go through it. And, I mean, there are some things that, like, I've known Josh since 2004 is when we started the Gizmachi record, the first one, the Imbuing. And, there was a couple of years that we didn't talk or whatever, just because he moved to California. I moved to South Carolina. But we kind of, the last 2 days, we talked for 45 minutes a couple of days ago. And then yesterday for like an hour or an hour and a half or something, just shooting the S and catching up and all that good stuff. So, it's gonna be a really good show. Like, Josh and I can literally talk for hours about nothing, and so it's gonna be a great show. Even if we had no material to talk about, it would still be a great show. So definitely tune in for that one in a little over a month. So
yeah, it's gonna be. I'm pumped. I'm pumped right now. Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Did you look at the notes for tonight's show?
Well, ask me again in like 20 seconds if I looked at the notes from tonight's show.
So as you're looking at tonight's shows, let's say what's going on to a few people in the chat. Actually, there was a question for you, Jay, from Cheech Marin. He wants to know the name Gizmachi. I know we've talked about it before, but can you go into a little bit about the name?
I'll try to not bore you. There's really no meaning behind it. We always had a problem coming up with a band name, and it's changed a couple times. But literally, like when I was in high school playing with our old drummer Anthony and Chris, who is still the bass player in Gizmachi, we were like switching names every week, and we didn't play metal at that time. It was more of like Red Hot Chili Peppers meets Primus meets Metallica. It was like kind of a blend of like, because I was into the heavy stuff and Van Halen, and obviously not that I could play like that, but Chris was into more of the funk stuff and the Chili Peppers and stuff, and then Anthony was kind of all over the place with that stuff. So it was cool, it was, but at the same time, we didn't have a band name. So one day in science class, and I'll try not to bore anybody with this one, but what was his name? Mr. Haight, I think, Haight, I believe. I didn't do well in school once it got past like fourth grade. It was a struggle for me. And especially once I really got into music in the end of junior high and the beginning of high school, I really got into music. And obviously once I started playing guitar, it was like, you know, I'd go in my room to do homework and literally just either listening to music or playing guitar. And surprised my parents didn't throw my guitar away. But anyway, and this teacher, I think it was like 9th grade, was like, or 10th grade, was like, he was talking about like electrons or protons or something. I don't even remember what he was talking about. But all of a sudden I heard him say, you know, you could change the name of it to Gizmachi and it's still the same thing. And I was like, Gizmachi. And at the time, that name kind of fit the music that we were playing, you know, like that, whatever kind of stuff. Obviously we're still playing a lot of covers back then, but it kind of fit. And then once we started getting heavy, we always discussed changing the name, but we could never come up with anything cool. Not that Gizmachi's that cool because it doesn't fit the metal thing, you know. But for some reason we were like, you know what, screw it. We've had this name since, you know, whatever the hell year it was, 1994 or something. We just kept it. So that's basically it. There was no meaning behind it, nothing really, just a science teacher saying that word. And it was literally the only thing I heard. Heard him say, I was like, that's kind of cool. Wrote it down instantly. And the second I told Anthony and Chris, they were like, whoa, that's awesome. And that was it, you know? So cool. That's probably the longest I've ever explained that story in my life.
It's all right.
So
Rory's in the chat. What's up, Rory? What's up,
Rory.
October?
Hey now.
My man Tinkerbell, what's going on, Tink?
Tink.
All right. So did you look at the notes?
Yeah.
All right. So
what about,
I'm going to start with tonight. I got a new guitar.
Yes, you teased me on the phone.
I'm a big tease.
You teased me on the phone, and I was like, a new guitar?
I'm gonna step out real fast. I can get it all ready to go.
All right.
So hold on one sec.
What do you want me to talk about in the meantime?
Bidets.
I want to get a custom guitar that's shaped like a bidet, that looks like a bidet. And then instead of like a Tessie switch or something, you know, you push the button.
Right.
I'll have a little knob and I'll be able to spray the people almost like a guar concert. You know, I can fill it with like different liquids and just tell everybody in the front row to turn around and bend over. All right, this show. Hey, yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, there you go, Kurt. Hey, Kurt 5150. Did anybody do a roll call tonight yet? Or should I do one now? Everybody say where they're from or something. Everybody say yes or no, do you have a bidet? Yes, you have a bidet, or no, you don't have a bidet. Let's start there. And then I'll do a little bit of a roll call. I'm going to say yes. Brian Spalding, what's up, man? And also, you know what sucks about Boner Jam's name? Like, no matter what, if you type Boner and even tag him in it, the comment has to be approved. So it's kind of weird. All right, are we going now, or do you want me to do a little bit of a roll call? Oh, where'd you get that? Oh, it's what the hell is it called?
So I just got this from Rob from Tessie Switch.
The guitar?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he had a Jim Root Telly, and I need a guitar to tune to drop C sharp. And Stone Sour plays some songs in C sharp, drop C sharp, and I got a good deal on it. He inserted a kill switch in it.
Wow.
It's pretty cool. So I just got this the other day, and promptly I popped the high E string. So I have to change the strings. I was going to do it before the show, but I was golfing. Your boy shot a 51 tonight.
5150.
Hit the clap button for me.
Okay.
I'm real pumped.
I don't have a golf one though. So. Oh, sorry. Oh no, sorry. Is it this one? Oh, is it this one? Oh no, this one. That's the one. That's the one. That's the ball going through somebody's window in their house next to the golf course.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I'm put this back now, but
Wait. It changes color.
yeah, I did that.
What do you mean you did that?
Push the button. So now it's on.
Oh,
then,
that's awesome.
See, I told you there's something about this guitar you'll like, and that's it. Pretty cool.
So can I ask live on the air, how did you know that Rob from Tessie Switch was selling that that guitar?
So I was checking out his OnlyFans page. And I saw
Okay.
hanging up like how I have my guitars displayed behind me, and we just got to the chatting, and he knows I'm a big Slipknot / Jim Root lover. I love Jim Root.
Okay.
And he's like, "Would you be interested in my guitar?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's talk about it." So we talked about it. We talked pretty quickly, and I was like, "All right, I'll take it." And then I asked him if he could put a kill switch in it, and he's like, "Yeah, absolutely." So there we
awesome.
Go. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you probably told him that you and I are buddies, right?
He said he didn't like you, so I try to keep you out of the conversation. So
doesn't surprise me. Speaking of Tessie
I'm
Switch,
pretty pumped. So I have to tune it. It's got some thick ass strings on it.
is there a Johnny? What's the code for Tessie Switch? Hey, FU Tone. Adam from FU Tone is here. Hey now.
All right, I'm gonna go put this back so I can get back here. Hold on.
Okay. Adam, I sent you that email, I believe super late last night. I apologize, but whenever you get a chance, no rush, just get back to me and we'll get these Ibanez guitars all FU toned. Johnny Beane 15 code. Is that for the Tessie Switch? Yeah, Johnny Beane 15. That's the code for Tessie Switch. Use that code. Anything on that website is 15% off. Yes.
Okay.
And Rob.
Plus, I got your pick that you love.
I don't know how you use that, man.
I'm used to it now. Ollie turned me on to those, and some of the techniques that he would teach me, like I was doing a lot of scales and modes and sweeps and things like that, and it was just easier for me to use this, and so I've been playing it ever since.
Plus, I mean, I get it because I know there are some shredders out there that use those tiny little picks, and I get it, the way they're kind of shaped or whatever, and the material, obviously, when you're playing that type of stuff, the pick kind of glides across the strings, so I get it. But for that type of stuff, yes, it definitely helps. But I think, and this is my personal opinion and just my style of playing, that the Tortex, I use these ones, the Tortex, what are these, the 73s or whatever, with the sharp, the jazz tip, I guess it would be called, but they're the normal size of a regular Tortex, whatever. Everybody knows what they are, but I feel like this material adds an extra snap and percussiveness to, especially rhythm playing. So I would, in my opinion, I would take, that emphasis on rhythm over the lead stuff, because I don't do anything that's absolutely bonkers, like Ollie would play stuff that I could only dream about playing. So, for me to even get that crazy. So, I mean, I consider myself a rhythm player who can play lead. I don't consider myself like a lead, a lead shredder player type of thing. So I'll always take the rhythm aspect over, type of lead, that type of stuff. Michael B uses the Tortex purple ones. I used those years ago, and I was wondering why I was breaking strings all the time. Because I'm kind of heavy-handed, with that right hand. So, I used to use the orange ones, but then once I tried the yellows, because they still have a little bit of give, but I was like, wow, these are definitely, in my opinion, because it goes orange, yellow, green. Even the greens to me were kind of thick. But anyway, we can pick talk, right?
Gotcha. But also too, I'll say this because you will never say it. If anyone has not listened to Gizmachi, the first album, The Imbuing, or the latest Hotness album of the year, Omega
Yeah,
Tribe.
album of the year.
Well, that's how it was promoted, right?
Yeah, it was 2012's album of the year. It was a typo. We meant 2021 the whole time.
You guys are dyslexic. But
Yeah.
Jay will never say it. And obviously, because it would be kind of douchey, be like, yeah, I'm filthy shredding. Jay's awesome. And if Jay,
Thank you.
stop. Why don't you just like leave for a moment? Let me just let me
Okay.
talk real quick.
All right, cool.
But if anyone has not listened to Jay play or seen him play, Jay's filthy. And I had guitar lessons from Ollie Herbert for a while, and Ollie was an amazing guitarist, just filthy shredder. But Jay is rhythmically the best guitarist I've ever seen. And I'm not saying it because he's my friend. I'm honest. Jay's amazing. He does some great stuff. So he'll never say it. So that's why I'm here. So guys, check him out. And also, there's a really cool.
I was hoping you were going to trash me as soon as I turned my camera off. That's what I was hoping was going to happen.
There's a pretty cool YouTube video. If you guys look it up, Jay playing a solo from a song off the Imbuing with his dope ass dreadlocks.
Oh God, yeah.
And Clown from Slipknot is there, and Jay just busts off a filthy solo. And
Thank you. Am I blushing? I feel like I'm blushing.
You are. I can see it like your chest is a little red.
Oh yeah, Adam from FU Tone knew Ollie as well. I think he had all his guitars FU toned as well. Yeah, still a shame what happened, but
yeah,
you know,
yeah. FU Tone. Ollie was like family. He'd be here all the time, and he's missed. Definitely sucks.
All right.
Yep.
Is it Action Jackson time?
All right. Well, did you do roll call while I was?
No, I'll do it. I'll do it right now. Okay. Right. I asked about the bidet. Not many people are chatting in here. It's weird. It's like we got Browns fan, FU Tone, Jesus. I'm not going to say it. Me, Jimmy Ray Hawkins. Johnny's here. Thank you. Chris Bevan, Leo Safco, Majestic PB&J Cat, Michael B. What's happening? Michael the Captain Smith, Nightbot, Stephen Franklin. I mean, we got 54 watching just on YouTube alone. There's probably one or two watching on Facebook. Your mom's here, Brian, Mary Bosom.
I've seen her.
Hey now.
What's up, Mom?
Kurt 5150 is back. And everybody else that's watching and not chatting, that's fine. That's fine. Give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, enjoy all the stuff that Johnny Beane TV has to offer.
Absolutely.
Some
and
cool shows on this channel. Even though I'm not on all of them, that's fine. I still watch them.
I think there was 110, 120 likes yesterday. We got to step it up, boys and girls. And
well, I think part of the reason is because the channel was kind of, you know, obviously very Van Halen and Eddie Van Halen, you know, dedicated pretty much, right?
Yep.
But then as time went on, you know, a couple different things branched out. So, you know, it's cool to have more of, you know, the heavy metal thing, you know, too. So now people are rolling and we got, let's see. I'm seeing more people. Keith Campbell's joining, Joe Hervey, 84.
Chris Bevan keeps asking us about
Genzilla. I still don't know how to say your name, but you're Genzilla. That's fine.
Genzilla.
And everybody else.
Chris Bevan, he keeps asking us what we think about the new Black Label Society song that just dropped.
I haven't heard it. Have not heard it. How are you going to eat with that mask on? Oh, there you go.
I'm in a restaurant, so I have to wear this.
Notice Johnny is not facing the TV with baseball.
Johnny, you going to the show tonight too, or no?
Keep rocking.
Kid Rock?
Keep rocking. Notice Johnny was not facing the TV with sports on, because I think he would rather watch like videos of people throwing up than watch anything with sports on it.
True.
Man. All right, so no, I have not heard the new Black Label song. I don't know. I'll check it out if you want me to.
Yeah, you should check it out. I haven't listened to it either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was too busy golfing and being awesome.
Yeah. Well, at least you're not like purple today, like you were last month. Beat red, you know.
Right. Yeah, no, I stay out of the sun as much as possible.
Well, I told you my story about Zach Wild, right? I'm sure I did. No? When we did Ozfest 05, I believe it was in Texas, so it might have been somewhere in the middle of the tour, I think, probably.
Was he wearing a vest?
Oh yeah, dude, he looked like a biker. Like I would not mess with him at all.
Right.
And obviously, he's a pretty intimidating dude. If you don't know him, he just looks like he whoop your ass if you say something, if you look at him wrong,
Is he tall?
Man, he probably had some boots on, but yeah, he wasn't a short guy. He was a pretty big dude.
Did his boots have spurs on them or no?
They're like biker boots, dude. They weren't cowboy boots. He didn't come strolling in like a spaghetti western, But anyway, I'll make this short and sweet. After our set in Texas, we were loading the trailer with our gear and stuff like that, or loading the trailer. And all of a sudden, Zach Wild comes strolling across the street with a 6-pack. I forget what beer it was, but it was bottles, right?
Schlitz?
No, it wasn't the most carefully pronounced beer in the world. It was probably probably Budweiser or something. I forget, dude. It was 2005. So, So anyway, he comes strolling across. He's like, hey, I just want to, say hi to you guys, blah, blah, blah. Hope you see how you're doing. If you need anything, and literally handed us all a beer. There's 5 guys in the band plus him. So we had a 6-pack and we just shot the shit for 5 minutes with him. He finished his beer. He's like, all right, cool. Nice meeting you guys. Like I said, if you need anything, don't hesitate to blah, blah, blah. And he left and we never saw him again. We'd go see him and stuff like that as far as like watch them play and, like whatever. But,
right.
It was just cool because, especially a newer band on the scene, he didn't have to do that, but it was super cool of him to do that. So.
Did he watch you? Like, do you ever, when you guys
I have no idea. I have no idea if he did. I doubt it.
When you guys played ever, like regardless Ozfest or any show, was there ever a time that you're playing and you look to the side and you just saw this person and you almost peed yourself?
Before any of that happened, we opened up for Meshuggah at the Chance in Poughkeepsie, and they had no idea who we were, obviously, at the time, but we were pumped. We're like, these guys, at the time, like virtually everybody in the band, that was like what we were listening to, And I remember at some point in the set, looking up on the balcony and seeing Thomas, the drummer, up there. And I believe there was somebody else up there as well. It might have been Martin Hagstrom, the guitar player, or maybe Frederick. I don't remember. But there were 2 of them up there watching. And after the show was over, they were hanging outside in the back, and we went up to them and stuff and got some pictures taken and BSing with them for a little bit. And as soon as I forget who it was in the band, somebody said something like, dude, it was an honor opening for you guys. And Thomas, the drummer, was like, yeah, you guys were really good, blah, blah, gave us a compliment. He might have been BSing, but whatever. But they were cool. And then when we went over to Europe, we played a couple festivals, and those, we were on the same bill or the same festival. And one day we had lunch with those guys, and they were super cool again. They were like, yeah, we remember you guys. We something about, New York or somewhere in New York. And we're like, holy crap, you remember us playing with you? So it was pretty neat,
That's awesome.
I have, again, the whole thing of like never meeting your idols, because they'll, the image that you have in your brain about how they are in real life, usually it doesn't really match up, and you might catch somebody on a bad day or just whatever. There's a million different things that can happen. But for a band that all of us idolize, and especially at that time, it's very cool to meet them and almost have them treat you like their peers. You know what I mean? Not just like some fan that's like, oh my God, you just signed my autograph type of thing, and just sitting there at a table eating lunch and just talking about music and whatever. It was a cool thing. So that's one of the very cool things about playing music and touring, was meeting people that were very cool in other bands,
Right.
So, but there were a couple jerks, not in that band, in the grand scheme of things, like doing the touring thing, playing with bands. There are some bands and some people in bands that wasn't a good experience, but I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. You know some of those people. I've talked to you about that.
I know.
I love telling those stories, but I'm not going to do it on the internet.
So the good news is, guys, we're all family here, right? There's only a few thousand of us watching right now. So Jay's going to divulge some of this information to everyone. So Jay, floor is yours, buddy. Go ahead. No, I'm just joking.
I would need a pretty hefty paycheck to do something like that, man.
Yeah.
No.
Hey,
it would be a great way to get on Blabbermouth. If I blast somebody that's in some big band, tell some story about something that happened, 15 years ago, then maybe my band will get some publicity now.
That'd be great. Jay said this band shops in the women's section. That'd be but anyway,
hey, in the 80s, that was the thing, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like David Lee Roth definitely didn't shop at the men's section at H&M. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm sure if we were in a band back then, we wouldn't shop in the men's section either.
I don't know about that, man.
Dude,
I don't look good in spandex.
It was a different time, man. It was a different time. That was like, if you didn't look like that, you were like, look at this guy,
Right. Yeah. A few other people have entered the chat. We got your boy Jesus Rapesme. He's here. Amanda Coombs, what's up, Amanda? Jeannie says is here.
Hey, Jeannie.
And the captain, my boy, the captain.
Absolute mayhem.
Dr. Claw himself has arrived. Michael Smith.
Arhab says Lars Hetfield. I'd never met Metallica. I don't know if I'd want to.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to. I mean, it's just a different thing, especially when somebody has been or band has been one of the biggest bands on the planet ever. And for this long, just to, again, I don't like to go up to people and be like, hey, I'm a fan of your music type of thing, especially if they're out in public or, a lot of times like on Ozfest, for instance, there was one show I saw Slash, because they Velvet Revolver played at least one show. I know it was like the California show or one of the California shows. And I saw Slash in the
leather pants?
No, catering, like the catering area, right?
Mm-hmm.
And anytime I tell anybody that, they're like, "Did you go? Did you say hi to him?" I'm like, no. Like I let them do their thing. What am I going to say? Like I just don't like going up to somebody and just saying, "Hey," just to start, I don't know what to say to them. Like I don't know a good pickup line for another band type of thing.
Right.
So
I hear you.
Just let him do his thing. I don't want to be that person that's like, hey, you're Slash. Yeah, I'm Slash. Thanks. Like that type of thing.
Right. So. And I've discussed it before, but I've met a lot of different bands and different people over the years, and I'll discuss life insurance and conferences. I'll talk in front of hundreds of people. I have no issues. But that one time when I met Jim Root, man, it was, I didn't know what to say. I was so petrified because I wanted to just tell him I play guitar because of you. Like you're one of the main reasons why I play all the time. And I love everything about you. And I wanted to hug you, but I didn't say that. And
imagine.
And I just stuttered. I had like a speech impediment, and it was terrible, but he was so nice to me. So if I ever get a chance again to talk to him, I don't know, or Corey Taylor. I met Corey Taylor once. I talked to him for like 3 seconds, and I was with Brody. Actually, no, I lied. I met him twice, but one time I was with Brody, thank God, because I focused on Brody to make sure he said hi to everybody.
Yeah.
And so
that's
Brody
your in. That's your in right there.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people would, but usually if you're even kind of a nice person and a kid says hi to you, you're not going to be a jerk,
No, it was cool. We went to see Stone Sour and Corn, and we got to do a meet and greet with Stone Sour. So Brody's in front of me, and he walks in, and the whole band is just right there, like all lined up. So you go in and shake their hand, and Brody's one of the only kids there. So all of them were like, "Hey, what's going on?" And being real cool. The bassist gave him a couple picks, and just everyone was really nice. And
What year was this?
this is like 3 years ago.
Okay, all right.
This is when Hydrograd came out for them. Yeah, it's about 3 years ago. So Brody walks up, Corey's next in line. Brody shakes his hand. He's like, "How you doing, Corey? Nice to meet you." And just walks past him. I'm like, dude, we listen to this guy's music every day. Like, you just wrote him a note. Like, Brody wrote a note prior to going to the show. I think I showed it to you.
Yeah.
And so Brody just walked past him like he was some stranger. And I'm like, Brody, it's Corey Taylor. And then so then Brody pulls out his note, gives him the note, and Corey was like, like really taken back. Like, that's really nice that Brody wrote him a note. And actually, I have the picture, which
Actually, I have the note back here because he crumpled it up and threw it at my feet.
But it was pretty cool. And Brody was just saying like his favorite songs that he sings, like "The Blister Exists" and from Slipknot and a Stone Sour song. So it was pretty cool. Then I'm like face to face with Corey Taylor, and he's like, "What's up, man?" And I'm like, "Hi." and then we took a picture. He put his hand on my shoulder, and I never washed my shoulder again. It's just,
yeah, the shirt Brian was wearing is in one of those glass cases behind him. It's just off camera though; you can't see it. So that's being in a band, and especially for as long as Slipknot has been out. They're going on. When did the first album come out? 2000, 99. And now you got the second generation fans. The kids of your fans that have been there from the start. And that's got to be a cool thing to like, wow, we've stuck around this so long and we're still on top of the food chain. And now our fans are having kids and they're fans of us now. Like that's a cool thing.
Right.
Gotta be.
It's gotta be.
Yep.
So cool. And that, like, I guess that also brings up, having kids. And the only thing that we listen really in my house are 80s music, right? Like Depeche Mode, your favorite, and then metal. So Rory, she's all into it. Lainey, it's great. And the same thing is like sports teams. Like if anyone ever tries to get anything besides Chicago stuff, that doesn't fly here. So
I know. I couldn't imagine. Like, imagine if like Killian grows up and he's a Green Bay Packers fan. He'll be living outside, dude. No, it's not allowed in this house. Like,
no. I love Killian, but he and I would have some words.
Yeah, like, dude. Yeah. Anyway,
all right.
The second generation thing, unless you want to continue with what we're talking about here, but I think that kind of bridges right to the Metallica anniversary or 30-year anniversary thing, because Brian asked me today, and I think he mentioned it before, the Miley Cyrus cover of
Nothing Else Matters.
Nothing Else Matters. Let me see. So should we go over that first, or just the details of what's going on in the set?
Whatever you want, man.
All right. So on September 10th, Metallica is putting out a remastered Black Album, which is the biggest heavy metal album ever. And,
hard rock album.
What was it? What is it? 16 million copies for a heavy metal band? It's like, it's unbelievable. Right. So anyway, we got the remastered version. And this is the huge deluxe. If you buy the deluxe box set, you get 6 LPs, so 6 albums, 14 CDs, 6 DVDs. And that's in the deluxe box set. So let me click on that. So you got 14 CDs, 6 LPs, 6 CDs, blah, blah, blah. Includes the original Black Album remastered on 180-gram vinyl and CD. Sad But True picture disc. Live at Wembley EP, Live in Moscow, double LP, 2 interview CDs, 5 CDs of demos and rough mixes, which I love that stuff. 6 live CDs, 6 live and behind the scenes DVDs, plus a lyric folder, 3 lithographs, tour lanyard, or a lanyard, tour laminates, 3 guitar picks, and a 120-page book filled with never before seen pictures and stories from those who were there.
And a partridge in the pear tree. Jesus.
That's definitely in there. It's got to be. And that's pretty cool, man. I mean, the one thing I dig about Metallica is that, you know, I'm kind of the opposite on like letting people hear, you know, I know my band only has 2 albums out, so whatever. But my iTunes and mix folders and whatever are full of demos, riffs, different mixes that I've done, like so many different things, different vocal takes. I was listening to a song a couple months ago, and it was the original idea Mike had for one of the choruses of one of the songs. I was like, oh my God, I forgot about this. It was like, you know, like imagine if that was on the album, like, holy crap, thank God we changed it, you know, type of thing. But I don't want anybody, except for like, you know, if you were here or something, I'd show it to you. I would never put that stuff out. Maybe rough mixes or something I would release.
Sure.
But as far as demos and like unfinished things, like I would, and I'm nobody, and I wouldn't want the masses hearing that stuff, because I think it shows like everybody wants their fans or whatever to think that, oh, this guy is unbelievable. You know, he's this and that. Whereas like you should hear some of the stuff that I've come up with before it was actually the final thing, you know? So I think to pull that curtain back to show people the infancy, is that the right word, of your songs, is a very ballsy thing, especially for a band like Metallica that is, like I said, the biggest heavy metal, one of the biggest bands ever, and the biggest heavy metal band ever.
Right.
To put out all these riff tapes, demos, rough mixes, like that's awesome. And that's for the fans. Like that's the one thing you can always say about Metallica, whether you like them or you don't, whether you think that after Justice they were done or whatever, you can't take that away, that they do right, you know, by the fans and stuff like that, as far as putting out material that fans want to hear.
Right.
So.
I don't know anyone who doesn't like Metallica though. I've never like, oh, screw them. Never.
Really?
I don't know. Do you? Or just haters?
Yeah. I give help people that don't like. Johnny Beane doesn't like Metallica, but Johnny Beane's not a metalhead, so yeah. Sure. All right, so there's that version, and they obviously have like the 3 CD expanded version, which comes with 3 CDs featuring the remastered album along with 27 live tracks, demos, and rough mixes. So that's the one. If I were to buy the CD, that's the one I'd probably get.
Right.
But again, I'm not going to buy the CD. I'm just going to stream it like a jerk from Spotify.
Sure.
And then just the remastered edition, which is available on vinyl, CD, cassette, digital download, and streaming. So I can't wait for this remastered one to come out.
And they locked Miley Cyrus's hair.
We'll get to that crap in a minute. But you know, for the sonic brilliance of the Black Album, when you listen to it now, it definitely needs to be, you know, pulled up a little bit. Sure. You know, so I can't wait for September 10th to listen to, because they released the Enter Sandman remastered version, and it's brutal. It's like, oh yeah, you know, it definitely blows through those speakers now. So,
well, one thing I wanted to say is what you're talking about with all the demos and just the songs in their infancy.
Yeah, it
just shows like really a vulnerability of a band, right? And you have to have a lot of confidence in yourself, and especially the final product, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who never would, just because, you know, everything's got to be all polished and sound perfect, right?
Yep.
And I really think that is awesome that Metallica does that. And the one thing we've talked about before, we haven't talked about it a long time, but you know, remember the making of the Black Album on VH1?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when you would see
the classic albums, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And James Hetfield would be singing a song. He doesn't have the lyrics or anything yet, but he knew the harmony and how he wanted the, like, let's say a chorus or the.
Yeah, the melody was written already.
Yeah.
Wa-na-na-na-na, you know, that type
He
of
would do
thing. He
that.
would
So
want
he'd
to
be
know.
playing the song and doing that. And I was just like, holy crap, that's amazing. That blew me away. I'll never forget that. And I saw that, what, 20 years ago that came out?
Yeah, so, yeah, I think it was maybe even longer that came out. But
Mhm.
no, you're right, man. It's a very weird thing because usually I'm not a lyricist and stuff like that. I mean, obviously I've written like vocal melodies, but I've never written like lyrics for Gizmachi stuff. If you want a song written about farts, I'm your man. But if it's anything serious, you got to go to somebody else. But you know, I've always known like singers that would literally either sit there and listen to the music and get a vibe of like what the song makes them feel, and then the lyrics would come out, and then we would go through, or they would go through, and like, okay, here's what I have, and then kind of trim. Okay, well, there's one too many syllables for this verse. Okay, how am I going to reword this? You know, change a word. You get the thesaurus out, which is hard to say enough, and you kind of like, okay, well, that word I use that too many times, or that's kind of like, you know, elementary. I'll change it, but usually that's the type of thing. You know, obviously some people do it differently, but that's usually the way a lot of people would do it. But
Right.
the wa-na-na stuff is pretty cool and pretty interesting, that he already knew the vocal melody, you know, when he was writing the music and stuff, and then he would kind of put the lyrics on, you know, later. So
Yeah, it's amazing. It really is.
hey, real quick, and Brian, we've talked about this a million times. Michael B brings up a point that I love, and the clips of Bob Rock pressing the band for different things. That's the difference. And I think a lot of bands, once they get later in their careers, they start either producing themselves, or they get a producer that they're really comfortable with. And it's more of like, you know, anything the band comes up with. Like a band gets so big, and next thing you know, it's like people, I think, are afraid to tell them something isn't good enough. And yeah, cut to the chase and F and play, Kirk. Yeah. I love that. I love that clip. But it's refreshing to go back and watch the making of the Black Album, you know, the year and a half in the life of Metallica, or the classic albums, to watch a producer get in a band's ass and be like, it's not good enough, do it again. Or, you know, when Lars, the beginning of Unforgiven,
Right.
you know, they had the guitar and the string, whatever, and the sound, and Lars wanted his drums just bow, you know, cranked, and everything else was low. And I guess Lars came in the studio and it was different from the last time he heard it, and he was a little ticked. And Bob was like, the drums were so loud, you couldn't hear the strings of the guitar, so I turned them up. And it sounded stupid with the drums just bow, and then ding, 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 bang, you know, and he's telling Lars right to his face, like, no, that's not good. That was crap. So I turned the guitars up. And, you know, and Bob Rock, I mean, they got him in to produce that record because of his track record, obviously, with the bands that he worked with before that. But you don't hire somebody like that just to be a yes man. Like okay, that's fine. And I hate saying this on the internet. Remember, I told you before I wouldn't trash anybody on here. But the producer they've had for the past couple albums, I mean, you watch the making of those songs, he's not pressing them to do anything that they're not comfortable with or whatever. Like, it's almost like whatever they do, whatever they play, whatever they write, oh yeah, it's great, it's great, it's great, it's great, it's great. You know, I'd love to say that if I produced the next Metallica record, it would be their best album since the Black Album. But if I did have a pair of balls in my pants, I'd be fired in 5 minutes for like, no, add another harmony to that, you know, like, oh, what's this guy telling us what to do? Get him out, you know? So fired.
Yeah.
Fired. Anyway,
I think everyone's pretty familiar with the Black Album. So let's talk about a few things on it that I'm kind of pissed off about.
Okay, let's get to that.
There is a version of Enter Sandman by Weezer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I can go without hearing? Enter Sandman by Weezer. No offense to Weezer. I'm not a huge Weezer fan. I respect them. I don't want to hear their cover of Enter Sandman. There's also a cover from your boy J Balvin, Wherever I May Roam.
I don't even know who that is.
Exactly. I don't want to hear it. J Balvin is a Colombian pop artist, if I may, a rapper. They actually had a J Balvin meal at McDonald's. No.
I have no idea. All right, while you're reading that, there's a long list. I can't even read. Darius Rucker does nothing. Jesus, look at this list of
trash.
No, come on. Well, I would agree with you on a lot of these, but
Miley Cyrus.
I know. But we talked about it.
No. Miley Cyrus. No one wants to hear Miley Cyrus. You know what? I actually listened to it because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give it a chance. I'm not going to be one of those snobs that just poos all over music. It's awful. She can't sing, and plus I'm just not a fan for multiple reasons. I think I sent you a picture of Miley Cyrus recently, and
yeah,
and seeing that and just knowing that she sings that song and it's so bad. So I want everyone to chat at some point, listen to that song, send Jay an email.
No, don't send me an email.
Your thoughts about it and how terrible it is. If you like it, you shouldn't even be watching the show. Well, I'm sorry.
Listen, I mean, there's one cool thing to all of this. All right. It's called the Metallica Blacklist. But one album, 12 songs, 53 artists, says the Metallica Blacklist celebrates the enduring influence of Metallica with an unprecedented 50+ artists spanning an unbelievably vast range of genres, generations, cultures, continents, and more, each contributing a unique interpretation of their favorite Black album cut. Available on digital and streaming on September 10th, blah, blah, blah. Here's the cool thing. All profits will be donated to charities of each contributing artist's choice, along with Metallica's own foundation, all within my hands. So all profits are going to charity. So that part of it is cool.
As it should.
I'm just saying. So that's cool. At least they did that, But
no, all seriousness. how does Metallica really, you know what? We should put this out and we're going to have J Balvin. We're going to have Miley Cyrus. Like really, like I'm trying to be serious right now. When was the last time someone crossed genres, say pop or country or whatever, it went from that to metal, or like, let me use your boy Kanye West, your boy Ye, whatever you want to call him. That's your boy. He played a festival in England.
A festival.
And he covered Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen.
Oh God, it was bad.
Like Kanye, you rap, man. Like you use auto-tune to your, like, I don't know, to appeal to the masses.
Nerd Halen.
And then at that time, he said he was the biggest rock superstar.
Oh yeah, I know. When you have to tell somebody what you are, you're not that.
No. So, Kanye, Miley Cyrus, J Balvin, come on. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll tell you, and I told you on the phone. Hold on a second. Get on. I'm telling Jeannie to get on the show. She said it's a metal party going down here. She has a glass of wine and some organic cauliflower bites. Ugh. Anyway, it's a good marketing plan or marketing idea because the album came out 30 years ago, obviously. And to get all these, I guess, relevant pop artists now to cover a song on an album that was recorded 30 years ago or that came out 30 years ago is brilliant because you're going to get a lot of ears on it. Younger ears that may have even, you hear Metallica and they're like, Metallica, heavy metal, blah, blah. I mean, it might get a couple 100,000, couple million younger fans into that band because say what you want about the Black Album, it is the biggest crossover album, I think, of all time. Like it really went from Metallica is a heavy metal band to Metallica is the biggest heavy metal band on the planet. you know, and one of the biggest bands ever. I mean, 16 million copies sold of a heavy metal album. You're not just a heavy metal band anymore, you know? So, I mean, in that aspect, it makes sense, you know, to get younger people kind of checking you out now. Like, oh, wait, Metallica, what is that? I've seen t-shirts. I've seen kids in school and all these pop stars wearing Metallica shirts, even though they don't know any of the music, but maybe now they'll check them out and, you know, so I get it. But I'm not listening to any of those songs because I don't want to, let's just say I listen to that Miley Cyrus, Nothing Else Matters, right? Well, maybe the next time I hear the real version, that one will kind of like, it'll ruin me. It'll just kind of like ruin the real version for me. Yeah. And I think the song Nothing Else Matters is one of the, like, you listen to that song and it's like, wow, like for a band like Metallica, you know, before that, who is known just for thrash metal. I mean, obviously they had one with the, you know, the nice clean guitar stuff, you know, Fade to Black and all, you know, they dabbled in that stuff before, but I mean, Nothing Else Matters is just a straight, it's a beautiful song.
It is.
So I you know, I get it.
The Black Album is amazing. It really is. It's just, how many singles are off that album? 5?
I want to say 5. Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
5. It's what?
There might even be more that we're not thinking of, but I know obviously Enter Sandman, Nothing Else Matters, The Unforgiven.
Yep.
Wherever
I May Roam.
Wherever I May Roam. I think that was the second single or something, or third, whatever it was. Those 4, and then I think there was 5.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. Like I said, and they talked about it, like
sad but true.
Sad but true. They'd go to a country they'd never been to before. They'd play, and they'd go home and they'd be like, well, now we got to go to somewhere else that we never played before because we just sold another 1 million copies of the CD, of the tape. Like, okay. It was like 3 years of like nonstop touring. Mm-hmm. You know, I think it's up there about 300 shows that they play. Dude, 300 shows on one album. That is absolutely insane. You know, how big and how, and it's funny. Everybody says, "Oh, it's the most important heavy metal album of all time." I understand that, but when you think about it, heavy metal was dead. Not I want to say dead, but heavy metal took a big dump because of grunge soon after. You know what I mean? Think of what came out in '91: Nirvana, mm-hmm. Pearl Jam. Mm-hmm. Did Stone Temple Pilots come out in '91? I think so.
I think that was 92.
Oh, well, if it did, whatever. But 91, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. And then obviously over the next couple of years, heavy metal was almost like a bad word, you know? It wasn't cool to be like heavy metal anymore. And it's just a shame that happened literally soon after the biggest heavy metal album of all time came out, you know?
True.
So either, and you know, new metal in 94, Jesus, whatever's me, you know, that, and Cameron Brown's here. What's up, man? So obviously, yeah, Core was 92. Okay. Thanks, Kurt. But you know, once you were like new metal, that was cool. But again, like anything like thrashy and, you know, any of that stuff was kind of like, and the same obviously with any kind of glam rock, hard rock stuff was considered. Yeah, Alice in Chains came out. 1991, I think, is the biggest selling year of music of all time, right? I think like SoundScan, it was insane. And a lot of those albums are literally transcending albums that came out.
Bad Motorfinger, Soundgarden.
Yep. Mm-hmm. 10 from Pearl Jam was like obviously still one of the greatest.
Right.
So
yeah, no, I agree 100%. Yeah. But then in the mid 90s, the only band that was super heavy that was relevant was Pantera at that time.
They were still cool.
Yeah, Pantera was awesome. Mm-hmm. Then Korn comes in.
Oh, wait a second. To your point about Pantera.
Yep.
You know, I talk all the stuff about the Black Album being the biggest heavy metal album. Pantera, Far Beyond Driven, is the heaviest album to ever go #1.
Right.
And that was 94.
And they were fueled like by Metallica, as we talked about, They sold out.
What?
They sold out. Metallica sold out. And
Well-
after Justice, they sold out. But God bless them. They made an amazing album, but they changed. They sold out. They were more appealing to the masses. And you know what? That's fine. Like that's just what they wanted to do. Pantera was pissed. So they're like, we're gonna go heavier and we're gonna fly the flag, and they did, which was awesome. And then a couple of years later, Korn comes just blowing off some panties, and that's how they do with the 7-string, and it just brought in a whole new era of music. And at that time, the glam stuff was dead. And if you were into it at that point, you were made fun of. Like, it just wasn't cool anymore. Thrash also was dying at that time too. And then Korn really paved the way until Johnny Beane showed.
Oh yeah, I bet he loves that. Like, why am I on TV now?
What is that? Is that the waiter? Could we put an order in to go? Oh, I think he's showing them how to like order food on the menu. Like, this is how you do it. You are not very technologically savvy, so here you go.
Christopher Live Sour says I can name 100 junk rock bands from the 90s. Oh, of course, man. I mean,
Me too.
But that's the thing. I think we mentioned it on Saturday Night Live, maybe last week, that like the new metal, what would you call it? Not era, but the new metal thing or whatever was the last kind of. How do I explain? I think Paul explained it, which he did a really good job at explaining it. But it's like the last genre of music to kind of change the landscape of heavy music and rock music. Obviously,
to the
glam metal, grunge, thrash, that type of thing did the same type of stuff.
Right.
But the last heavy music to do it was new metal. It really was,
Yes, you're right.
And obviously the Meshuggah thing kind of more on an underground thing, but Korn was
the last movement to hit the mainstream, right? The masses was new metal. Korn, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, that stuff.
Deftones, yep.
Deftones. That was, but also again in the 2000s, there was a lot of like there was a new wave of music, like the new wave of American metal with like Lamb of God.
Yep. Shadows Fall.
Gizmachi.
Byzantine, who is criminally underrated.
Gizmachi, Byzantine, Trivium. There's a handful of bands that Killswitch Engage, All That Remains. A lot of those bands in the early 2000s really jolted metal how it is now, I think. Meshuggah, obviously.
Well, like I said about the Meshuggah thing was more of it wasn't on that grand scale that like the new metal thing was. Like once new metal came in, dude, every band that was coming out was friggin' new metal. Like we even did the new metal stuff in Gizmachi about that time. Obviously, Korn was the reason I bought a 7-string guitar.
Right.
And thank God, but I've said this before. I think the reason why I never bought a 7-string before that was because when I saw them on like with Steve Vai and in guitar magazines, I honestly thought it had an extra high string. I didn't know it had a lower, the low B or however you tune it, however you want to tune it. And I wonder, I'm thinking back, I'm like, I wonder if I would have wanted one of those if I knew it was an extra low string. Because I remember looking in the catalog, and maybe I just didn't read it or something. I remember thinking, like, why would you, if you had an extra high string on them, that thing would be like a razor blade going through your fingers. You try bending, what would it be? Would it be a
4?
Like an A string? Would it be a high A? I don't even know how it would be tuned. Right? Like E, A, D, G, B, E. So if you go by the numbers, it would be right. It would be another A, like a high A. What would it be, like a 6? Like the gauge of that string would be like 4? A 6.
I don't know.
I mean, like how could you not snap that string all? That's what I would think. So.
Yeah.
But once I realized, like, whoa, that's a low string, dude. Like that's. I need that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think we hit on Metallica enough. We can move on.
Well, we were moving on.
Yeah. Well, before we move on to the next segment of our show.
Oh, we're doing a station identification?
Yes.
Okay.
So before I do that, but first, everyone in the chat, thank you for watching us. It means a lot to Jay, especially Jay, because he's concerned about how you guys feel about him. So thanks for stopping by, saying hi, and no, it really means a lot. So thank you for taking some time on this Wednesday. But again, everyone, like the episode, please. Last night's show had a couple thousand, so we should get up there as well. And no, thank you everyone for stopping by. If you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're doing, but you're probably just watching because you can't comment on our show. So
That's right.
Only people who subscribe can comment. So if you have a lot to say about Jay's pointiness or my monster forehead, you can't unless you subscribe, which I also have covered it up tonight. So
now you only have like a one head.
Yeah.
Maybe a two head.
We'll get to that. Yeah. So on to the next part. What I wanted to discuss is you have a handful of guitars. You have a couple, like 3, 2. And
some of them are still, I've said this before, but we had company last week here, so I had to pack a lot of stuff away. So there are still some guitars in that closet back there.
Right.
So I didn't bust everything out. So I have these 3 and then that one laying there. So
gotcha. So I have a handful of guitars behind me that I wanted to kind of discuss or talk about why I do some certain things. Like every guitar that I have here is tuned differently. All of them. Well, almost all of them. And like my Paul Gilbert, which I'm going to bust out in a second, is just standard tuning. And then I have my Blue Ibanez, which is over there, is drop C tuning. I have 2 Jazz Masters. One is in Guitar Center. It's been there for 3 months. And I don't know when I'm ever going to get it back.
Yeah, you might never get it.
Sucks. But those 2 guitars are going to be the same. It's a drop B tuning, 11 to 56. And then I have that white Telly, which will be drop C sharp. And I'll probably do similar to the 10 to 52. I have a black Strat, which is there. Is drop A, and it's also 11 to 56.
That's the Canadian guitar. It's drop A. Hey,
drop A.
Take off, eh?
And then I have a couple 7 strings. And then that's one is tuned to A standard. The other one's B standard, my Universe. So there's a handful of different guitars I have, and I kind of want to go over what you have, why you have that tune that way, and when do you pick it up? Like you have a ton of guitars, so do I. And there's times I don't touch one for a while, and there's other times that's the only one I touch.
Yeah, it's normal.
So when you're recording, or are you working on anything for Gizmachi right now? Or have you even dabbled in some ideas and things that you would want to do? Or
yeah, I have a couple riffs recorded on my phone. I know Mike has a couple riffs recorded. We heard that one kind of long, heavy one that he played for us like a month or 2 ago. That was really, really good, but it's a drop A, which I tried tuning one of my guitars drop A, and it was like I never played guitar before. I had especially with a 7-string. Yeah. I had no idea how to play anymore. It was like, what? So I was like, F this, man. So he unless we kind of transpose it up to B, he can use that for his solo stuff because I mean it was great. Like I heard it, and I was like, holy crap, that's really, really cool. I would love to use this, but again, to me, here's the thing with me, and I don't want to go off on a tangent, but I feel like when I hear A, especially with a 7-string guitar, as soon as you hear that open A string, to me, it just sounds like Korn. It just has that sound to it, that's that note, and it's like, it just sounds like Korn to me. So not that the riff sounded like Korn, but just whenever that open A hits, that's the note, and there's just something to just standard B that I just like, on a 7-string. So anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry to go off on that.
No, it's all right. So if you're going to start working on a Gizmachi song, so let's say Balls has a song that's in drop A, wouldn't you just do something maybe, well, because if it's drop A, you still have the same tuning, right? But you just drop the B to an A. So you can do other stuff. Would you work on harmonizing it? Would you work on like something like a lead over it?
No, I'd work on convincing him to use it for his own music. I just feel like standard B just sounds like us. You know what I mean? It just feels right playing, because we don't just. I do have a 7-string over here, but I don't even think that the nut is locked on this one. But I just, when you listen to our music, it's not like we're always hitting, the open B anytime we do anything. I mean, there's songs that we rarely go down there. We'll do like, on the, the 1st fret or 3rd fret. You know what I mean? It's like we don't always rely on the open B or whatever for stuff.
Right.
But
there's no songs in the Gizmachi catalog that's tuned besides standard tuning on a 7-string, correct?
Oh, correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, if you go back to older Gizmachi stuff, like before we got heavy, I mean, we had like when we were still doing the 6-string thing, when I was the only guitar player, it was either standard tuning or drop D.
On a 6-string.
On a 6-string. And drop D on a 6-string is almost like cheating, in my opinion. It was so, you just move that, all the way up, and it was just like, it was cool. Yes, Keith Campbell says too much work for Jay to relearn anything. Dude, guitar is not easy. Like, I'm still learning the notes on the fretboard. I'm still learning a lot of stuff about this. And it's only been over the past couple of years that I've really started to try to learn how this instrument works, instead of just figuring out what notes go with each other. Like, oh, I'm trying to figure out a lead for this. I don't know. Like, okay, it's kind of in this key, so I'm going to work in this, mode or scale. Like, I don't know any of that stuff. So literally, like when you hear Gizmachi stuff, obviously we all learn licks, and we kind of like, okay, well that's cool, but I would kind of do it this way or something. So, you kind of rework things to how you like it to sound. But at the same time, like whenever I'm trying to learn something, I'm going by my ear of like, what notes do I think sound cool with this riff, as opposed to like sticking with and I know some people that doesn't really make sense to or whatever, but I just, that's how I've always done it, and it works. Not that I do anything that's insane, but it's cool, just to kind of like, hey, what? Oh, that was terrible. What am I? Where am I again? That type of thing. But
Right.
I
understand.
Yeah.
So if you guys play live, how many guitars would you bring with you? 2?
Just 2. Yeah.
Just because everything's the same tuning. So the only reason you would have backup is just in case you pop a string or something. Right?
Exactly. Yep.
So like there's other bands. I'm going to use Trivium, for example. They have like 5 different tunings. So they'll play a song 6-string that's drop C sharp, right? And then they'll have songs in their 7-string that's A sharp. They'll have a song in B. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm pumped to ask Josh Wilbur when we get him on next month about that. Like, here we go. Here's another tuning. It's just like a lot of their songs they're all over the place, which
and sometimes that could be if the producer has a lot of input and say in a band, especially when they're doing pre-production, which Josh obviously, those type of bigger bands do that. They have the budget for it and whatever. And sometimes a producer will say, like, especially if it's a band that does do alternate tunings, a producer might say like, hey, that riff's cool, but what if you tried it in a different, like pick up your other guitar that's tuned to, fart sharp or something. And then you'll play the riff and be like, whoa, that sounds mean, man. Like, hell yeah. I like that. So there's always that, which might have been, and I'd have to go back and listen to the demo back to Metallica, but sad, but true. I don't know it definitely, but that might have been standard tuned, I'm not going to play the rest of it. But it might have been standard tuned or standard tuning, and then you know, when they did pre-pro with Bob Rock, he might have said like, hey, let's I think that was what, D standard?
It is D standard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they dropped the step. Yep.
Drop the whole step. Yep. Which, I mean, that riff, and also when you listen to the demo, it's faster. It's like happy.
Right.
And Bob Rock was like, let's, you know, he
Slow
concentrated a lot on the tempos on that album, which if you know, that tempo for that riff is it's friggin' meaty as hell, man. You know?
Sure.
This guitar is loud, isn't it?
I'm gonna grab one of my guitars and I'm gonna talk about this stuff. Hold on.
Fart sharp. Or sharp flat. There you go, Keith. Yes, Keith Campbell. Josh Wilbur on September 29th. Jesus, he said, get Doug Steele on. We had Doug Steele on one of the Saturday nights. This is probably about 6-8 months ago or something. He was awesome. Yeah, we definitely want to get him back on. He was a cool guy. Blacktooth Fox says, best regards from the UK. Metal, excellent. Rolls fingers. Let's see. Majestic PB&J Cat says he has a few songs in Fart Sharp. That guitar sounds loud, man. That one too. Are you playing through that friggin' crate?
I did for you.
Yeah, just for me.
So with this is my this is my favorite guitar I own. This is my Jim Root Jazzmaster Tune 2 Drop B with strings 11 all the way to 56. Isn't your 7-string 56?
Yep.
Yep. So it's in drop B.
Hit it. Hit the low B. Yep, that's it.
But the like Slipknot does all their songs in drop tuning. So over the years, I don't really write music. I have no reason to. Like I'm not recording, right? The only time I've ever played on a track is with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I a lot of times for me to get better, I'm trying to learn different things and obviously like work on scales that like stuff that Ali taught me and I'll work on.
Mm-hmm.
And but generally I get better from playing stuff. So
oh yeah, you definitely get better at playing other people's music because it's different stuff than you would do, and it gets you kind of out of your comfort zone. Like what kind of chord? What are you doing? Right. And then you can kind of help. You can kind of incorporate it in different ways into your. If you do, write your own music, but you can kind of incorporate certain things into your stuff, which is neat.
Right. So there's stuff from Slipknot. So they're in drop tuning and.
Don't get Johnny flagged.
Huh?
Don't get Johnny flagged.
I'm not playing it, but I just love the growl.
Yeah, especially for that crate amp.
It's just awesome. But there's some techniques that I think I sent to you. There's a Slipknot song, and I'm not going to play it, but there's a part they're just like they're doing a riff, and then what is that?
Well, I know it's kind of like a carcass type of thing. Like they do this thing. I don't know if they called it this or their fans or whatever, but they called it like butterfly tapping, and it almost sounded something like that. Like they would do the that, but they would add a finger to it, and it would almost sound like they call it butterfly tapping. I was, what the hell is that?
And plus, like I've been sitting all awkwardly, but it's I don't know. So there's songs I'm playing songs. You're like I think it's really cool. So there's like some cool techniques that I learned, but this is my baby. This is my favorite guitar. I don't care who made it. It's obviously it's Fender, but I know I like it because it's Jim Root, but it's like made for me. It's perfect. The neck is amazing.
And that has a matte finish on it, right?
Yeah.
So was it wearing out where you're like, oh, I see it. Yep. Right above the bridge pickup and around the volume knob. That's awesome. That's like, like battle scars type of stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so every guitar I have is just tuned differently. So it depends on the mood I'm in. So I'll take this, put it back, and
oh no!
What's that?
No, I was making it sound like the guitar fell off the thing.
Or if I'm playing man, I don't know, some Chevelle or Lamb of God. This is or Gojira. This is my go-to if I'm in the mood to play that. And this
Show that guitar on the screen, because that guitar is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And the finish on that is to die for. You know, I know that on the camera it doesn't really do it justice, but if you see that guitar in person, you'd be like, "Oh my God, that's beautiful!"
Cool.
Glacier Freeze or something. What is it called?
I'm not sure.
Something Glacier something.
Yeah, Glacier Blue or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, so that's fun. I love doing it. But I don't know. Is there any wearing for me playing this all the time as well on the bridge? So, all right, I'll put this back before I start playing some stuff and get flagged.
No, I feel. I mean, I know what you mean. I mean, I guess if I played, a lot of different band stuff, maybe I would do that. Change the tunings on different guitars. That's the man. I still kick myself, man. God,
this guitar is perfect. So this is my only guitar that I have standard tuning. Well, my Universe that you put together for me, that's in essence standard tuning for a 7-string, but it's
because that neck is so damn thin.
So this is the only guitar that if I'm playing Metallica, if I'm in the mood for Metallica or old school Rage, this is my go-to for that.
Man, that guitar. Now, let me give you everybody watching kind of a quick backstory on that guitar. So, ever since I saw Paul Gilbert with that guitar, I don't know if it was in a video, if it was in a guitar magazine, whatever it was, I saw that hot pink with the blue, the pearl blue, and he signed it, man. I'm gonna God. Anyway, I've always wanted that guitar. It's been behind like the swirled Universe. It's always been like one of my favorite Ibanez guitars ever. All right. So a couple years back, Dave Nesdahl had a friend, I guess, or somebody he knew was selling that guitar, the one that Brian has right now. And it was such a deal on that. Like if you sold that now, you could probably get twice what you paid for. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, it was such a deal. It's super. It was what do they call it? A case queen or something? Literally looks brand new. I mean, if you see any of those guitars nowadays, the pickups are faded, the F holes, all that stuff, whatever. That thing looks like it's basically, with the exception of some wear on the back plate, it looks like it's brand new.
It is.
But, yeah. So at the time, I couldn't do it, and I would want somebody that I liked to get that guitar. So I called Brian. I sent him a picture of it, and I was like, hey, I can't really do this right now. I said, would you? This thing is. The price of this guitar right now is insane. So I sent Brian the picture. I said, have you been interested in this thing? And he's like, all right. So of course I was excited that one of my friends got it, but also I was pissed that I didn't get it. I was like, son of a bitch. God damn it. Throwing shit around.
And that's the only guitar that I have, because I have 8 down here right now that I'm playing that I just feel weird playing. Like I'm really gentle with it just because I know that 1, his autograph is on the back, but 2, it's just, you can't find that anywhere.
Yeah, I know.
But
yeah, and somebody brought it up and said, I'm going to find it because I hate not giving somebody credit when they say something or whatever. Blacktooth Fox says those wizard necks are skinny as F. Yeah. Well, hold on. I have one. I have a wizard neck on the Larry Mitchell guitar right here. This is a Larry Mitchell custom, LA custom shop guitar that they made for him. I want to say around 92 or 93, I think. I could find out because Nesdahl knows all the details about this guitar. But anyway, when they made this for Larry, this is actually an RG neck on an S-series body. Now, if you know the S-series bodies from back in the day, they're 22 frets. Well, an RG neck is 24. So what they did is you see the binding, right? Like all those early RGs had, it stops Does that guitar have binding? Can you grab it real quick? Yeah. So show up at the neck joint. See how the binding continues? It wraps all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this one does not, because they cut an RG neck to fit on this guitar. It's a 22 fret. So, but this is, look at, I mean, oh, I'm knocking stuff over here. But I mean, it's insane how thin.
I'll show
I think
mine if
yours
you
might
want
be
to.
thinner than mine, man, which, it's insane. When you play this, it instantly. You're like, oh my God. Like my hand feels like Andre the Giant's on this thing. It really does. But that's one thing I love about Ibanez guitars. Like the necks on these things are so cool. And I have a 91 Universe. You have a 92 Universe, the same guitar.
Yep.
And the necks on those things are like, it's the same type of deal. They're so thin.
Right.
But that's part of the beauty of it,
Definitely.
So
So
and
if
my
you were gonna
hands
write
aren't
a song-
cramping yet. I know a lot of guys get older. Like Paul Gilbert, for instance, his guitars that he plays now, they're like baseball bats. The necks are so fat and thick on his guitars now. And I think part of the reason might be because once guys get a little older, their hands start cramping when they play those tiny, thin necks. And his hands are massive. He's got those, fingers that are this long. But
what do you think about those guitars that the necks are angled? So how what I'm talking about, like how like they're not like how like the frets are.
oh,
cut
you're talking
evenly.
about like fan frets or whatever.
Is that what it is? Fan frets? Yeah.
Yeah, like they'll start this way, and then as they get to like the middle, they go straight, and then they'll go this way at the end. It kind of, it's called fan frets, or what's the
It's
other
like
word?
more like ergonomically correct.
Yeah, like it's supposedly if you kind of like it, the frets are kind of lined up with how your hand, when it's down at the end of the fretboard, like down here, your fingers in your hand is kind of like that way. And then as you move here closer to you, it goes straight. And then as you're up here, it's different. It kind of the frets kind of change with how the angle of your hand is. So
Right.
I just feel like if I were to play a guitar like that or own one guitar like that, and I liked it, I'd never play something else because I'd be like, oh man, none of the other guitars are like that, but whatever. God, this guitar is great. Oh my God. Anyway, never played a fan fret guitar. Multi-scale. There you go, Keith Campbell. Thank you.
Multi-scale. That's what it's called.
Yep.
Okay.
And then they make the ones that are like squiggly. Somebody's gonna know what that's called as well. You ever see that? That's oh my God, I have it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Crap. Steve Vai has a guitar now that has that type of neck on it. The frets are literally so the True Temperament. William De Silva coming through in the clutch, bottom of the ninth. True Temperament. Look that up, Brian.
Okay.
You'll be like, how the hell do you even? Yeah, penis, Jeannie. Jeannie just texted me penis. For the next day, she said Killian woke up. Damn it. Anyway, True Temperament. Look that up, and you'd be like, how do you even play that? Like my question would be, if you bend a note on that, because the frets aren't straight, they're kind of like, so basically anywhere you play a note or a chord up and down the fretboard, the frets are adjusted so that the guitar is perfectly in tune, because the guitar is not a perfect instrument.
Right.
So as you go up and down, something might be a little flat or a little sharp, but the True Temperament, supposedly you have a perfectly tuned instrument no matter where you are on the fretboard, which is cool, but it just looks wacky as hell. Like I couldn't imagine looking down and seeing that, like, what, the hell, what is this? Who melted the frets on this thing?
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
True Temperament. Okay.
Yep. If you want, if you have it on your phone, show it on the screen so people can kind of, Name one guitar player that uses them. Yeah, I think, like I said, I saw Vi kind of noodle with one in some videos, but it's not, he didn't replace, I don't think, at least, I could be wrong, but for the majority of his main guitars, he didn't replace a neck on one of those guitars with a True Temperament neck. So, Per Nilsson plays a Strandberg with True Temperament. That guy is a machine. He was in is he still in Meshuggah, or did Frederick come back?
Frederick's back.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it looks weird, doesn't it? Scar Symmetry. Per Nilsson was in Scar Symmetry, and he is a crazy guitarist. You can not show your face for a second. Just cover your face with the thing so it doesn't focus on you. Can you zoom in on that so we can see?
Oh Jesus!
Like, use your you know how to use a phone? Zoom in. There you go. All right, there you go. It's focusing on the thing behind you.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, you get the idea. Yeah, Scar Symmetry is badass with the old singer. I'm not a huge fan of them after he quit. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I don't even know if I'd want to play one of those things. I mean, it might be cool to, like, yeah, this is neat, but
We'll try it.
Yeah.
There's a couple albums coming out soon. Have you checked out the 2 new singles from 12 Foot Ninja? No. Has anyone in the chat listened to 12 Foot Ninja? They have 2 new songs out, and they're both pretty cool. So definitely check it out. Please, someone. But Jay, you got to check it out.
I've told you this before, man. It's very strange that, especially in the heavy metal world, even though I'm a huge headbanger, always have been, always will. Well, not always have been. Metallica, got me into it, but it's very difficult for me to find new heavy metal bands, that I've really never heard before. And I get into it. Usually, anything new that I listen to either came out in the 80s and I never heard it before, and I listened to it, I'm like, holy crap. This sounds like, hey, this is awesome 80s music that I never heard before. Or a band like Crazy Licks that plays that type of music, or a band like Heat that plays that type of music. It's a weird thing. Like I said, I'm a huge headbanger, but I don't really seek out anything new in the heavy metal world,
Right.
So,
well,
I'm getting old, man. 44. Usually they say you stop seeking out new music when you're like 33. Hey, Ben, what's up, man? Ben Coombs is here. So yeah, I envy you in that aspect. You can listen to new music and listen to it like a younger teenager would. Like, wow, this is awesome. I like this. That type of thing.
Right.
I can't do that. I wish I could. You and Mike Balls. You both always send stuff. Hey, you hear the new blah blah blah, or you hear this band before? Most of the time, I just ignore it. Like, right. I don't even check it out. But if somebody says, like Mike sent that link a week or two ago of that band that it sounds kind of 80s. So his second he said has an 80s vibe, put it right on the speaker. Let's hear this. I like this. This is cool. But if somebody sends something with, like, growling guitars and big drums and all this stuff, I'm like, whatever.
Sure. What's up, Ben Coombs? Thanks for stopping in. And Jeannie says 44. Yikes! That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, she makes fun of me, but she's almost 40, so
she's old.
Yep.
She's old. But no, I'd listen to. I'm always looking for something cool. But the new 12 Foot Ninja stuff, I think it's cool. They're different. They have some really heavy elements, but they're also weird as hell. So, and there's a song. First,
I've heard them before,
right?
And I instantly knew that number one, they were talented as hell. The music is good, but like I said, I don't know if my mental music hard drive is full of heavy metal where I don't want to hear anything new. I honestly don't know. Honestly, don't know.
So what would happen if basically we need to hang out and I'm just going to play stuff and we're just going to walk around, do whatever, and just have that stuff blasted, not sweet licks or
crazy. No, if you
Dusty
come
licks,
down
whatever.
anytime soon, all you're going to hear is Dokken because I can't stop listening to Dokken. Jeannie, I think Jeannie's going to divorce me. She really is. The other day, she's like, can we listen to something else? No, you cannot.
It's true.
We cannot listen to something else.
No, but I'm coming over. I'm gonna DJ, and we're gonna listen to what I want. And you're gonna be like, "Oh, this stuff isn't bad." I'm like, "I know, right? Give it a chance, bro."
Yep.
So, I know we're getting close to the end. Did you think about some songs you want people to check out? Things that you've been listening to, minus Dokken? I don't want to talk about
man, it's so hard because that's all I've been listening to. Literally, I'm not even joking. It's been going for like 3 months now. I want to say listening to Dokken. Obviously, Back for the Attack, and what's the album? The album before it. I always forget the name. Anyway, those two albums. But Back for the Attack, in my opinion, is their best album. Let's see. Let me just peruse real fast. You know what? We were talking about Gizmachi before.
Yep.
Everybody go listen to, if you have an hour and 26 seconds, listen to the whole album. If not, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Music, it's on YouTube, whatever. Any streaming, whatever. But if you just want to hear one song, listen to the title track. It's the last song on the album, Omega Collide. There it is. Listen to that. Look at that. Engineered and produced by Jay Hannon. Executive producer, Brian Bosom. Look at that.
I know him.
And sex executive producer, Johnny Beane.
Hey. Hey now.
Hey now.
I got your text. I was just about to jump in anyway because
Perfect.
you
Yeah.
know, being a producer.
Yeah, we're finishing up, but we're going over some of the stuff that we're
Whoa,
listening
hey
to.
now.
Are you
Yikes.
jaywalking? Jesus.
Get out of the road, you.
There's your Taco Bell, Jay.
Yeah.
There it is.
know,
We went to a pretty nice place. It's called the Yard House in here in San Jose. Santana Row is what it's called. It's like a really nice, really kind of upscale, kind of outdoor kind of place.
Well, you were, it was outdoor kind of place, but you were inside. Oh, and now he freezes. Oh, you froze for a second.
Am I frozen?
Yeah. Or is it me? Okay, Brian's moving.
Yeah. No, that's Johnny.
Yeah, Omega Collide. Check out the song, or if you have time, check out the album. But there you go. There's my heavy metal suggestion for the month. What do you got?
Cool. I have a few songs. So first one, recently Joey Jordison passed, and obviously we all know what he's done in Slipknot and how instrumental, like how amazing he was to make Slipknot so big, and
Oh yeah,
how amazing drummer he was. But also he was in some other bands and he did some different things. So there's a band he created as a side project initially before he was excommunicated from Slipknot. It's called Scar the Martyr. There is an awesome song called Blood Host. Everyone has to check that out.
Okay.
Real good, real heavy. It gives you the feels. It's when you're ready to rock out, definitely check it out. Real good song. It's when you listen to it, you know it's Joey with the toms, right? Like you always said, like Joey's all about the toms, right?
Yeah.
And,
But in a good way. It's not like he's one of those drummers that just does it, and you know, it was very like you kind of said, it was part of his sound and his style.
Right.
And and again, you know, his style of drumming definitely helped put Slipknot at up where they were, you know. So.
Absolutely. So check that out. Blood Host by Scar the Martyr. Awesome song. Since we're just talking about 12 Foot Ninja, there's their newest single is called Start the Fire. Awesome. It's really good. That song actually has an 80s feel to it. Out of all their songs, this is the one that's closest to an 80s feel, and I think you would actually enjoy it if you listen to it. You'd be like, oh, it's pretty cool. And the outro is dope. So good. And then, so everyone check out 12 Foot Ninja, Start the Fire. And lastly, Fear Factory dropped the album a few months ago. And recently, your boy and mine, Dino Cazares, came out and said they have a new singer for Fear Factory, which will be
has it leaked yet?
Not who it is, but they have one. He's actually currently on the road with Soulfly. He's their new guitarist, beside because Mark Rizzo left, which is kind of crappy. But there's
Mark, we did a tour with Soulfly. Mark Rizzo was super cool. Yeah. And I was almost embarrassed to play guitar in front of him because he was so good.
He's filthy.
I was like, holy crap.
Wasn't he the original guitarist of El Nino as well?
He might have been. Dude, whoa, what is going on? I wish, dude, if I could go back in time, I would have gotten lessons from Mark Rizzo on the road when we toured with Soulfly, because at the time I was just not, I don't want to say embarrassed to play in front of him, but he was like, he would literally walk around the venue, you know, during load in and after, before doors would open, and just shred, man. Just walk around like, I'm like, oh my God. Do I even want to play my guitar in front of this guy? You know,
Mark Rizzo is awesome. Cow. Plus, back in the day with shows, he would wear like no shirt and have a backpack on.
The backpack,
the backpack, yeah. He's awesome. He's real good. But getting back to Fear Factory, their new album, the song called Disruptor, it was their first single off of it. There's a really cool part, like 2 minutes in. Check it out. It's I don't even want to ruin it for you. Just go check it out. Pretty cool guitar riff. So. Yeah. And that's all I have. Johnny, you want to bring up the producer so we can say goodnight to everyone?
Yeah, and hey, Laz, did you make it? I see Laz in the Laz is headed to the Guns N' Roses Mammoth show right now.
That's awesome. Have fun, Laz. Be safe, man.
There you go. Thank you so much, channel members.
The channel members, there's just way too many, but thank you, all of you. As always, if there was no Carol Hatcher or False Flag or Wayno, we wouldn't be here tonight. So thank you, guys.
We love you all.
We love you all. There's just so many of you. I love you all.
Yeah, and we'll love more of you if you also join.
Definitely.
At Guitar Center.
Well, we'll be back at the end of September 29th, right, Jay?
Yeah, September 29th with Josh Wilbur.
With Josh Wilbur.
One of the biggest producers in metal right now.
Absolutely. And we'll definitely be pimping it out and making sure everyone's tuning in. That's going to be an awesome show. I'm pumped. So, yeah. So we'll see everyone in a few weeks.
Johnny, why aren't you going to that show?
I'm not vaccinated.
Oh,
that's why I'm not going.
Yeah, I wouldn't be going either. So
yeah, that's why that's one of the reasons I'm not going. But
yeah, gotcha.
That's for another time.
Yeah, another show. We'll start another show on the channel.
That's for Friday night show, guys.
All right, how do I do this?
All right. So thank you, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in, and leave a thumbs up. And that's all I got.
Make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you guys. Jay and I will see you guys Friday.
Hey, we have a guest Friday, don't we, Johnny?
We have a guest, Simon. Is it Hosford?
Yeah, Simon Hosford. Yep.
Simon Hosford will be with us on Friday. Technically, for him, it'll be Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday, like a year from now. He's
yeah. Yeah. So, rock on. I'll rewatch the show later when I get home.
Don't do it. No, I thought it was a good show tonight. I thought it was a very good show tonight, man.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Goodbye. Don't leave yet. Don't leave. Good night. Goodbye from Guitar Center.